welcome back to Not Just Candle Talk, the real, raw, no fluff podcast for creators, entrepreneurs, and anyone brave enough to chase purpose and profit at the same time. I'm your host, Tony, and today we're talking about something nobody warned us about, something that sneaks in after followers came, after the sales hit, after the launch goes viral. We're talking about success PTSD. Yeah, that part. The anxiety after achievement, the burnout after the breakthrough, the identity crisis after the win. So let's get into it. We are wired to chase goals, milestones, numbers, and impact. And don't get me wrong, it feels good when you're finally hit one of those goals. When that launch finally lands, when people finally see what you've been building in the dark, when the money, the engagement, the recognition all pours in. But no one ever talks about what happens after. After the highs fade, after the applause stops, after the dust settles, that empty feeling, that's not failure, that's success PTSD, and it's real. You start asking, was that my peak? Can I do it again? What if I can't keep up with the version of me that people now expect? And suddenly, you're not celebrating, you're surviving. Here's the ugly truth about winning in public. It adds pressure. Now people are watching, they expect more, your brand is growing, but your bandwidth isn't, and you're terrified to slow down. You start over-delivering out of fear, not joy. You say yes when you want to just say, I need a break. The scary part, even your creativity feels like it's on a timer. Like, if I don't post, I'll lose momentum. If I rest, I'll be forgotten. So let me tell you something. Relevance is not more important than your peace. Your business cannot thrive if you don't. Some of you listening right now, you've built something amazing, right? It's great. People know your name, you're making your money, and yet you don't feel like you anymore. That's the part no one prepares us for. Your brand becomes bigger than your identity. Your audience starts to expect a version of you that no longer aligns with who you've become. You keep showing up on autopilot, and deep down, you're screaming, I miss me. Let me tell you something. You are more than the version of you that people clap for. Success isn't self-connection, it's just performance. And eventually, you burn out playing a role you never wanted to audition for. So what now? First, you breathe. When your feeling is not weakened, it's not being ungrateful, it's being human. Here's how we start healing from success PTSD. Number 1, just stop performing. Okay? You don't owe anyone a version of you that's killing your joy. Number 2, get quiet. Silent isn't stagnation, it's a reset. Rebuild rivals. That's number 3. Reconnect with what brings you joy outside of the matrix. Number 4, normalize therapy boundaries and slow seasons. There's power in pacing yourself. I believe in that. Number 5, redefine success. if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. I believe in that as well. If you have permission to evolve, to be soft, to change direction, to pause, even after a win, and here's the part most people miss. You don't need to prove that you're healed to take a break. You're allowed to be healing and successful. It's really a thing. Broken and brilliant, exhausted and still enough. That's what you want to be, okay? It's the same thing. A good example when I think of this, when I'm saying these words, and I'm also thinking about a artist, a musical artist, how they put their first album out. Okay, they got 13 songs on the album, and it's a hit, right? They didn't know it was a hit. They was doing it from the heart, right? And they put the 13 songs out, and the world, excuse me, is, amazed by this project that they did. Every song is a hit. Every song on the project is a hit, and they world-renowned fame. Can't get enough from them. And that lasts for however long it lasts, right? And they enjoy the ride. They enjoy success. They go on interviews, concerts, all of that good stuff, right? But then it's time to start the second project, the next album. And this album, the second album, is not as good as the first, because they, along all of that, the praises and the wins and the success and the attention, they go into the studio and they cannot get that vibe back from that second album. And it's not as popular. It's maybe one or two hits are on the album. And then next thing you know, it takes them 3 to 4 years, maybe 5, to make another album. That's what this episode reminds me of. You hit a peak, you hit your high peak, and then it's hard to duplicate that sometime. And people try and try and try, but sometimes it's not it. So always keep peace at your center. That's I don't like giving advice, but when I think of something like this, when I think of Success PTSD, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But you have to center yourself, right? You have to be centered within yourself first before you put out any type of project. I use music as a good example because that's the first thing that came to my mind, but it could be anything. I'm a true believer that peace, and knowing who you are and building the foundation first before you step foot out into the public is very important. And it's a must for you to keep your sanity and just to know your direction and where you're going, because you can get lost. So I just wanted to hit on this episode because it's felt, and I see it a lot. I talk to a lot of people. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. People, sometimes it's hard to duplicate. So, and you see that person, like I said, you see them all the time on social media, and then they're gone or whatever. But that's it. That's because they cannot duplicate that thrill that they had at the beginning. And it's not easy because we're human, right? We're not machines. So anyway, I just wanted to hit on this real quick. If today's episode hits something deep, I want you to sit with that. Don't rush. Post it. Replay this episode. Let it validate what you've been afraid to admit. That success comes with shadows, and you're not broken for feeling overwhelmed by very things you asked for. Okay. If this resonates with you, or you want to, have a reference or anything, I'm going to do a free download, the Success PTSD recovery map. So one pager to help you reset, reflect, and protect your peace. And you will find that in the show notes at the end of the episode. This one got me kind of fired up because it's real and it's relatable, right? It's so relatable and it's relevant to what's going on today. And if you're not in your head whispering, "This is me right now," do me a favor and share this episode. You can tag us on Instagram. Leave a review, if you will, on the website and let someone else know they're not alone. Because success isn't just about the next goal. It's about staying whole while you chase it. Until next time, take care of you and talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.